All right. Hello again, everyone. Welcome back to our English class. This is Nicole. It's great to see you all here for our third and final lecture, actually, on casual phrases, which is under the lesson or the topic conversational English. I am really looking forward to wrapping up this session with you today and, of course, giving you the last few casual phrases to make your conversational English even better. Now, over our last two sessions, we've covered a lot of ground. We started with the basics of what makes a phrase casual and why it's so important for sounding like a natural speaker. We then jumped into some great phrases for showing surprise, like no way, for real. We also learned how to agree to plans in a friendly way with phrases like I'm in, that works. And remember, these phrases aren't just for fun, they are the phrases that people use every single day. So, mastering them will really help you sound more confident and at ease. Today, in our final session, we're going to tackle a few more phrases that cover some important final situations. These phrases will help you show agreement, express acknowledgement, and even say goodbye in a friendly, relaxed way. So think of these as final pieces of the puzzle that will help you complete your understanding of casual conversational English. Our goal here is just to make sure that by the end of the day, you have a solid foundation of casual phrase to use in almost any informal setting. We'll go through the phrases, talk about their meanings and pronunciations, and then we will have one final big practice drill to review everything we've learned in this session, in today's session. Okay, I'm ready to dive into our last set of phrases. So, of course, I'm excited to see what we will be covering. Let's make this last session count. Please be participative, be here in our class. Okay? All right. Let's immediately start with the first casual phrase. Today, we are starting with a phrase that you will hear a lot, especially among friends and in a relaxed setting, which is chill out. Again, chill out. Now, the phrase chill out is a great relaxed way to tell someone to calm down or to relax. You might say it if a friend is getting worked up about something small. You can imagine this kind of situation. Okay? Imagine the situation that we have here. Uh, let's think of a situation for a moment. Mm, let's imagine this situation. A friend just got a text that a TV show they were planning to watch was cancelled. So they throw their hands up and say, "Oh, I can't believe they canceled the show again." Of course, in this moment, a simple and kind response would be to say, "Hey, chill out. It's not the end of the world." Something like that. Okay? All right. So this phrase works so well here because it acknowledges their frustration but gently reminds them that the problem isn't that big. So it's a very common way to show someone that you care about their feelings but that they might be overreacting a little. It's a way of saying take it easy or don't let this bother you too much. Okay? Okay, I'm gonna put the sample sentences here. Our first one is hey, chill out. Um, it's not the end of the world. Okay? This is just a guide. Oh no, what happened? Okay. Okay, let me have this here. Okay. Maybe some bullets. All right. So here, this is just a way of saying what? Take it easy. Okay, chill out is like you should not let this particular thing bother you too much. But let's think about this phrase more deeply. Chill out is not just for small disappointments like this first situation. You can use it in many different contexts. For example, you can imagine you have like a friend who is studying for a big exam, and they are so stressed they can't even think straight. So they keep reading the same page over and over again. So you could walk over and say to them, hey, you've been working for hours. You need to chill out for a bit. Let's go get some coffee and take a break. Something like that. Okay? Hey, you have. Oh my god. You have been working for hours. You need to chill out. Chill out for a bit. Let's go get some coffee and take a break. Okay? This is another sample sentence or sample line that shows how we can use chill out in a different context. Here, you are not just telling them to calm down in an angry way. You're genuinely showing concern and telling them to relax their body and mind. It's a supportive phrase, basically. Okay? Another example is when someone is getting angry or frustrated in a situation, like when driving. Let's say you're in the car with a friend and another driver cuts you off. Your friend starts to get really angry and begins to honk the horn and yell to the other person or to the other driver. So you could calmly say, chill out. It's not a big deal. Chill out. It's not a big deal. They just made a mistake. Okay, something like that. In this case, chill out is a way to de-escalate the situation and prevent an argument or a road rage incident. It's a phrase that asks for peace and calm. It's a powerful tool in your conversational toolkit. No, it's also a great way to tell someone to stop overthinking. Let's say a friend is trying to decide what to wear for a simple dinner. They've been trying on clothes for an hour and are getting stressed. So you could say, still, we start with chill out. And then chill out, we're just going to a casual restaurant where whatever is comfortable. Okay? In this example, chill out is used to show them that they are making a bigger deal out of a simple situation than they need to. So the phrase helps to put things in perspective. Now let's move on to the pronunciation, which is very important for this phrase. As the site says, you need to use a clear CH sound in chill. This CH sound, which is represented by the IPA symbol here, okay, the one I am highlighting right now, that is the IPA symbol of CH. It is a sound that we make by combining T and SH sound. So to make this sound, you press the tip of your tongue against the roof of your mouth, right just behind your top teeth, and then release a burst of air. It's the same sound you hear at the beginning of words like chocolate and cheese. So it's important to pronounce it like an SH sound, like sh. You do not pronounce it like that, like in the word shoe, or a simple S sound like in the word sit. The CH sound is different, and it's what makes the word chill sound correct. So the vowel sound in chill is a short I or short E sound, like the E in sit or ship. It's a quick and sharp vowel sound, and the final L sound is a dark L, which means you make it by raising the back of your tongue toward the roof of your mouth. Okay? Now for the second word out, the vowel sound in the word is a diphthong. Okay? Remember diphthong, which means it's a combination of two vowel sounds in a single syllable. Basically, a vowel sound plus a vowel sound, we get a diphthong. Okay? It's represented by the IPA symbol, this one. Alright, that's the diphthong in the phrase. To make this sound, you start with the A sound, like in the word father, and then you quickly move your mouth to the O sound, like in the word moon. So the final T is pronounced as a quick, strong T sound. So ow, t, ow, Make it blend it more together. Out, out. So when you say the entire phrase chill out, the two words flow together smoothly. There's like a slight pause between them, but they are said as a single unit. So the stress is usually on the first word, chill, which gives the phrase its friendly casual feel. So it's not chill out, but chill out. Okay, practicing this flow is important because it makes the phrase sound confident and natural, not like a collection of separate words. Okay, let's say it together. First, let's just practice the CH sound. Ch, ch, ch. Good. Now let's say the word chill. Chill. Good. Now the second word, out. Out. And finally, let's blend them together. Chill out. Chill out. Great job. Okay? All right. So let's move on to the next phrase, which is I hear you. Again, I hear you. So this phrase isn't just about the physical act of hearing with your ears. It's about listening with empathy. When someone shares something difficult or emotional, saying I hear you is a kind and supportive way to respond. It's a way of letting them know that you are not only listening, but that you also understand and validate their feelings. Okay? Let's look at the example provided. Here, let me just copy paste it for you. I didn't include it in the slide. Okay, this one. I've been feeling really stressed at work lately. That's what your friend says. Okay, for a moment, let me add some. Okay, this one. So this is what your friend says. I've been feeling really stressed at work lately. So you can, how do you call that? You can reply with I hear you. Okay? Again, you can just reply I hear you. So this phrase is powerful because it's a form of active listening. This is just a simple and kind response. It tells the other person that you are giving them your full attention and that their feelings are really important to you. So saying I hear you in this context shows empathy and support. It's much more personal and comforting than just saying okay. Right? So it communicates a sense of shared human experience and understanding. Okay? All right. So here, this particular phrase, it often carries a heavier weight of empathy. It's used when someone is sharing a frustration, a problem, or a strong opinion. It's a way of saying, I am listening to your feelings and I recognize your importance even if I don't have a solution right now. Okay, that's where empathy works in this particular phrase. So you can use it in a wide variety of situations. For example, you can imagine a friend is complaining about a difficult family member. They might say, my cousin always makes me feel so small. I just don't know what to do. A great response to this is to say, I hear you. That sounds really hard. Again, I hear you. That sounds really hard. Let me just... Okay, this one. Okay, so you aren't offering a solution, but you're showing that you are a supportive friend who is there for them. This kind of phrase builds trust and strengthens your friendships. Another example in a more professional but still informal setting, let's say a colleague is frustrated with a tight deadline for a project. They might say this deadline is impossible. There's no way we can finish this on time. You could respond with, I hear you. It's a lot of pressure for sure. Again, I hear you. It's a lot of pressure. Okay? For sure. All right. So this phrase is also it also shows that you are a team player, that you empathize with your stress, not your stress, but with their stress, even if you still have to work to meet the deadline. Okay? When it comes to pronunciation, the provided tip here is to say it warmly and with empathy, which is more about the tone than the individual sounds. So the tone should be soft, it should be kind, it should be reassuring, it shouldn't be rushed, it should not be especially it should not be robotic, as the slide correctly points out. It should feel human. The three words in this phrase, I, here, you, they flow together very smoothly. So the word I has a long E sound, represented by the IPA symbol I. This one, that's the IPA symbol of I, which is a diphthong, because as you've noticed in its IPA symbol, there are two vowels, and that's the very characteristic of a diphthong, right? Vowel sound plus vowel sound, we get a diphthong. Okay? And just yeah, that's the IPA symbol of I, just like what you hear in my or by. Okay? The word here, her, the word here has a soft H sound. This is just different with the words her, yeah, her, like as in this one. So these are just different. Here and her, it's different. We know that, right? Here, her, that both are different, but they both have a soft H sound at the beginning. So it is followed then by a vowel sound similar to ear in earring. So in many accents, the R at the end of here, it is very subtle or not pronounced at all. And of course, the last word is you. It has a long oo sound. Again, long oo. Here. That one. Long oo sound. It is represented by the IPA symbol, this one. Okay? You might be confused why there's letter J there, because everyone, this is you, right? Okay, let me put it here. That is you, and its IPA symbol is this one. Okay. Alright. So that's the IPA symbol of, how do you call this? This word, you. And then you've noticed that there's letter J in there because that's the IPA symbol or IPA equivalent of the sound that the letter Y makes. Okay, so the IPA symbol of letter Y is J. So don't get confused. And if you notice, there are two dots or colon beside the symbol or after the symbol. That is an indication that the sound or the vowel sound is a long vowel sound. If there is no two dots right after the IPA symbol, then that's a short vowel sound. That's not a long vowel sound. But here, since there are two dots that you can see, this one, that's an indicator that you should pronounce the word with a long vowel sound. And here, the long vowel sound is ooh. Again, ooh. Okay, so that is why you. I hear you. Okay, all right. But you know, in a quick natural speech, the word you, it can sometimes be reduced as yeah or yeah, this one. Okay, but in this phrase, it's usually pronounced more fully to add to the empathetic tone. So when you say the whole phrase, the words blend together. The phrase should be said with a slight pause after I hear to give more weight. Okay, let's try it together. I'll say it and then you repeat after me. Remember to say it with warm and empathetic tone. I hear you. Let's try it one more time. I hear you. Good. The emphasis is often on, of course, here. All right. This is to show that you are actively listening to the other person. Okay? Let's move on to the next slide or next phrase, which is what's going on or what's the deal. As you can see, this is a friendly, casual way to ask what is happening. Now the phrase, let's just focus on what's the deal. Okay? Because that is much more casual. So the phrase "what's the deal" it is much more often it is much more or much common than the formal "what is happening." It's a great way to show curiosity and to check in on a situation without being too formal. Okay, let's look at the example provided in my notes here. You might say it when you walk into a room and then notice something unusual. Okay? So imagine, I've put here, my situation here is that imagine you walk into the kitchen and there are a bunch of people standing around the broken coffee machine. You could say, what's the deal? Okay? What's the deal? Or what is happening, but in a more casual way, what's the deal? This is a perfect use of the phrase because it is a simple and direct way to ask for an explanation. It's much more natural than saying what is happening, or a more formal way to say it and more complicated or more complex is just to say what is the current state of affairs, something like that. Okay? Or please explain the situation. So this phrase is versatile and you can use it in a wide variety of situations. Okay? All right. Let's explore some more examples for this one. The most common use of "what's the deal" is as a greeting. So when you see a friend in the hallway or a coffee shop, you can say, "What's the deal?" This is a friendly way of saying hello, how are you, and what have you been up to. It's just like an alternative to "what's up." Okay, it's a very casual greeting, and it's a great way to start a conversation. So of course, a common response to this greeting is this one: "Nothing much." And of course, you could ask them back, like, what about you? Or if not that, you could just say, just hanging out. Okay? You can also use this phrase to ask for an update on something. Let's say a friend has been working on a big project and you haven't talked to them in a while. You could text them and say, hey, what's the deal with the project you were working on? Something like that. Okay? All right. Now for the pronunciation, which is very important for making this phrase sound natural. The first tip is to drop the T in what's and then emphasize on. In a casual speech, we often drop or reduce the T sound at the end of the word. So instead of a strong what's, it sounds more like what's. Okay? This is a feature of what we call connected speech. We've already talked about this one on one of our previous sessions, where the sounds of words blend together. Okay? The second part of the phrase is going on. The word going is often reduced in a casual speech. We often drop the G at the end, so it sounds like going. So the word on at the end is very important. The tip says to emphasize on at the end and then stretch it a little. So this means that the word on receives the most stress in this phrase, especially if what's going on. It's more like what's going on. This phrase or this emphasis on the final word gives the phrase its friendly questioning rhythm. Okay? This is for the third casual phrase of the day. Let's move on to the fourth one, which is that's nuts. Again, that's nuts. As you can see, this is a very casual reaction to something shocking or surprising or hard to believe or something crazy. Okay? It is a fun and informal way to say this one, that's crazy, or that is wild. Okay? So here, let's look at the example provided in my notes. Imagine a friend tells you some incredible news, something that is a huge state of luck. Okay? What do you say? I just found out my cousin won the lottery. So you can say that. Your reaction in a very casual and excited way would be to say, that's nuts. Okay, that's nuts, that's wild. So this is a perfect use of the phrase because it shows genuine surprise and excitement. It's a very direct and emotional charged way to respond to big news. It's a much more expressive than simply saying that is interesting. Okay? So that's crazy or that's nuts, and it shows your friend that you are truly happy or shocked for them. Let's dive a bit deeper into the meaning of this phrase. While crazy can sometimes have a negative meaning, right? Nuts is often used in a more positive or neutral way, especially when used to describe a situation. It's a great way to express a strong reaction to a variety of situations, both good and bad. Okay? For example, I've noted here, My boss just told me I have to work every single Saturday for the next 2 months. You could respond with a more frustrated tone saying, that's not fair at all. Okay? Okay, let me copy it for you. This is a sample sentence. That's not fair. That's not fair at all. In this case, the phrase is used to show your frustration and disbelief at the unfairness of the situation. It's a way of saying that is an unreasonable request. Okay? All right. So, another example, last one, is when someone tells you an amazing and very impressive story. Let's say a friend tells you that they built a house by themselves over the course of a year. So, you could respond with an amazed tone saying, that's not. Okay. From one. Yeah, that's so impressive. I can't believe you did that on your own. Something like that. Okay, along the way. Anyway, in this situation, this phrase is going to, or it is used to show your admiration and awe at their hard work. It shows that you are genuinely impressed with their skills and dedication. Okay, that's the fourth one. Let's move on to. Okay, my screen got lost for a moment. Okay, it's back. All right, sorry for that. Anyway, let's continue. As I've mentioned, we're going to continue with another phrase, which is a very simple gotcha. Okay, gotcha. So as you can see, this is a super quick and casual way to say I understand or I got it. So the phrase gotcha, it's a great like shortcut in conversation. It is a very efficient. It is a very friendly way to confirm that you have understood a piece of information or an instruction. Okay? Let's have my examples that I've noted here on my notes. Let me copy it for you. The conversation goes like this. Your friend says, this one, make sure to call before you get here. So imagine a friend is giving you directions or a simple instructions, and then of course your natural response would be gotcha. Okay, a perfect, quick and natural response would be that one, gotcha. Okay, this is a great use of the phrase because it shows that you have heard and that you understood the instructions. It's much more friendly and direct than saying, I understand your instruction or I received your message. Or it's just, it just shows that you are listening and that you are on the same page. And you show that you emphasize that with one word only. Gotcha. Okay? Let's dive a bit deeper into the meaning of this phrase. Well, gotcha often means I understand, right? It's what is noted here. I understood or I got it. That's the meaning of gotcha. But it can also have a few other meanings depending on the context. For example, you can use gotcha when you finally understand a joke or a complex idea. Like your friend may be telling you a joke, which of course you don't get it at first here. Then a few seconds later, you suddenly understand. You could say, oh, gotcha, that's funny. Something like that. In this case, the phrase is used to show a moment of realization and understanding. So the tone would be one of sudden enlightenment, if I must say. So another common way to use gotcha is when you're trying to physically catch someone or something. For example, if you are playing with a ball and then you finally catch it after a few tries, you might exclaim gotcha. Okay, in this context the phrase means I caught it, and it is used to show a sense of victory or a sense of accomplishment. So the same thing applies if you're playing a game of tag and you finally tag someone. Okay, you would say gotcha to show that you tagged them. All right. Okay, so this phrase, it can also be used in a playful or tricky way. Let me just put here so far what we've used it. Gotcha is when you're trying to physically catch someone. So maybe your message is, I caught it. Okay, for a moment. Your phrase is I caught it. So one way to say that in a more quick or casual way is gotcha. A simple gotcha. Okay? All right. That's like that's one, or that's second way to mean gotcha, to use gotcha. Another is the joke one, when you finally understand a joke. So the sentence would be this one. I've noted it here. Oh, gotcha, that's funny. Okay? If you finally understood a joke, you could say that. Okay? All right. Now, another way, let's continue. Another way to mean or to use gotcha is when you try to use it in a playful or tricky way. Like imagine you play a small harmless trick on a friend, a prank, and they fall for it. You can say gotcha. Okay, in this context, the phrase means I tricked you, or you fell for it. Okay, I tricked you. Okay, the tone here would be playful and of course a bit mischievous to align with, how you intend your act. So now let's talk about the pronunciation for this one, which is, of course, this is very crucial for this phrase. The tip says it is one quick word, gotcha. So this is a perfect example of what we call a connected speech still, where two words blend together to form a new sound. So the words got and you. So gotcha came from the words got and you. Okay? Got and you. They're combined to become gotcha. So the T sound at the end of got and the Y sound at the beginning of you, they merge together to create a CH sound or ch sound, which is represented by the IPA. This one, I guess you're familiar with this one already because I highlighted it also in the previous phrases. Okay? All right, let's break it down. The word got has an a vowel sound represented by the IPA symbol, this one. And so the word you has a long u sound. When we say these words, these two words, got and you, when you try to say it together very quickly in casual speech, the sounds change and blend. Like the result is the single word gotcha, okay, which has the CH sound in the middle. The stress is usually on the first syllable, got, to give it a quick, decisive feel. So that's another, that's a difficulty, or not of difficulty, but that's an emphasis, if I may say, because we mentioned here it's stressed. So got here, let me highlight it for you. I'm gonna capitalize it to show that's the emphasized word here. This is just to give a quick feel, a decisive feel. Okay, let's practice the pronunciation together. I'll say it and then you repeat after me. Remember to say it as one quick blended word, not just as two separate words. Okay, all right, let me say it first. Gotcha. Let's try it one more time. Gotcha. Again, gotcha. Gotcha. Your turn. All right, great job. Now, a few final notes on using this phrase. It's a very common phrase, but of course, it's also very informal. You should use it with friends, family, or people you know well. Okay? You would probably not use this phrase with your boss or with someone in a formal setting because, of course, for those situations, a more formal phrase like I understand, I got it, I will make a note of that. Those phrases, those phrases are much better. Okay? All right. Let's move on to the sixth casual phrase, which is still one word. Very simple. Depends. Okay? This is the sixth phrase we have on our list for today, which it means it's not the final phrase, but let's just say a final phrase for the first set of phrase. Okay? This is depends. As you can see, the word is used when your answer is not clear. Okay, let me highlight it for you, or let me type it in here for you. Okay, you use, oh my god, oh, it got lost. Sorry for that. Let me do this quickly. Okay, some bullets also. Oh no. Okay, let me just put here, how do you call that? Okay, I can type it now. So here, when you use depends, this is when you try to, your answer is like not a clear answer. It's not a clear yes or no. So you use this when, use this when the answer is not a clear yes or no. Okay, like it depends on the situation. Okay, all right. So here, basically, you are not yet sure. You're not 100% sure of your answer, because again, you try to depend on the context. You try to depend on the situation that you are in. So the phrase depends, it's a great shortcut to show that you are not committing to an answer just yet. So here you are not committing yet to an answer, to a 100, let's just say 100% answer. Okay, so let's look at the example. Let's have some examples here. In my notes, a friend asks you a simple question here. Let me just copy it for you for your guide. This is your friend's question. Are you going to the party tonight? Okay. Your answer here is not a simple yes or no, because you are not sure at this time. So it might depend on a few things. So if you are still not sure, you could say depends. Okay. As simple as depends. You could just say, let me put it here. You could just say depends. Okay, depends or it depends. Okay, this is just the perfect use of the phrase, because it shows that you are considering the question, but that you need more information before you can give a final answer. So it's a very common and polite way to say, yeah, maybe. It's just another way, more polite way to say maybe. Okay, put a bullet for you. Maybe. Okay, without actually saying the word maybe. So instead of saying maybe, you could say depends, because they both give the same message. So let's dive a bit deeper into the meaning of this phrase. Depends. It's just it's very simple, but it's a powerful tool for giving a non-committal answer. When we say non-committal answer, okay, non-committal answer, basically you are not committed, you are not really 100% sure. I keep repeating myself because this is what really depends mean. You are not committed to a full 100% sure answer yet. That's why it's non-committal. Okay, that's what we mean with non-committal answer. It's a great way to avoid a direct no when you want to be polite, and it's a great way to open up a conversation to get more information. Okay. All right. Another example you can use depends. I cannot put it here. Let me just say it. When you try to make plans with your friends, friend, your one of your friends might ask, "Do you want to go to the beach tomorrow?" They ask you that. You here in this situation, you might, okay, you might want to go, but you need to check the weather first, or any kind of things that you need to consider before you actually go there. So you could say as a reply for now, depends. It depends on the weather. Okay, depends on the weather. So this tells your friend that you are interested, but that there is a condition. This is much more friendly and conversational than just saying, I will have to check the forecast, which is, a little bit on the formal side. So another common use of depends is when someone asks for your opinion on something. For instance, a friend asks which restaurant you want to go to. Instead of just saying, I don't know, you could say, it depends. What kind of food are you in the mood for? Something like that. Okay? In this case, the phrase is used to give the control of the decision back to the other person. And of course, it shows that you are open to different ideas because you mentioned it depends. So the tone of your voice here, it would be a little different. It would be a little different. It would be a bit more curious and, of course, open. Okay? All right. Of course, for the pronunciation of depends, which is very important, the tip here is the stress on pens, which is the second syllable. Okay, let me just highlight it here. Pens. Oh, pens. All right. So it depends. Okay, you emphasize the second syllable. This means that the emphasis goes on the last syllable of the word. It's not depends, but depends. Okay? Again, not depends, but depends. The word depends, it's often used on its own, as in the examples we just discussed, but it can also be said as the full phrase, it depends. Just like what you see here in the IPA transcription, there is it, because usually it is paired with that word. If not depends, it depends. So in both cases, the stress is still on depends. Okay? Depends part of the word, or the syllable, or the second syllable. So let's break down the pronunciation of depends. The first syllable, de, it's a very quick and soft syllable. Here you do not emphasize this one. The second syllable, pens, it is where the power and the emphasis go. Here, the vowel sound in this syllable is the short e sound, short e, okay? Like in the word bed, like it's not really prolonged, it's not too long. The final s sound is pronounced like a z, just like what you see on the IPA transcription of this phrase, depends. Okay, so when you say the entire word, the flow is very important. The first syllable is soft and the second is strong. So let's practice the pronunciation together. I'll say it and then you repeat after me. Okay, remember to put the stress on the pens. Okay, depends. Again, depends. Let's try it one more time. Depends. Your turn. Okay, great job. Okay, that is our sixth phrase, and that ends our first set of phrases for today's session. Let's have of course, it's time to practice the first set of phrases for this session. Time to practice. Let's jump right into our first practice drill. I'll read the meaning or the formal equivalence of the phrase, and you can take a moment to think of the answer. Okay? First up here, when your answer, okay, it's very easy. When your answer is not a clear yes or no, what's the one word casual phrase you can use for maybe or it varies? I'm going to give you 10 seconds to answer that. Time starts now. Okay, time's up. What's the answer? The answer is, let me reveal it. I guess everybody knows because we just tackled it. Okay, this is just fresh from our minds. This is the last phrase we mentioned, which is depends. So this is a super useful word for when you can't give a definite answer or a 100% sure answer because you need more information or the outcome is not certain yet to you. So it's a great way to be non-committal as it signals that your decision is not yet final and of course it is subject to change. So it's a polite way of saying maybe without actually saying it. Okay? Alright, that's depends. Next, let's jump right into our next practice drill. First up, the formal phrase here is what is the situation? What's the casual phrase you can use that means the exact same thing? There are two phrases actually, casual phrases, but we focused on one. And what is that? That's what's the deal? What's the other casual phrase? That is what is going on. Okay? This is a super common and efficient way to ask for a quick summary of what is happening. So you can use this phrase to get up to speed on what's going on. For instance, when you join a conversation that's already in progress, it's an excellent tool to quickly ask for a recap without being too formal. Okay? Next, we have here, I understand or I got it. What is the one word casual phrase you can use that means the exact same thing? One word. Okay? I understand or I got it. That is gotcha. Okay? This is a super common and quick way to tell someone that you have understood what they just said. It's a contraction of what? Got you. Okay? So it's used in a much different context. You'll hear it a lot in casual conversation, especially when someone is giving instructions. For example, a friend might say just go down 2 blocks and turn left, something like that. And of course, you can simply reply gotcha. It's an efficient way to show that you are following along. Okay? Next, calm down. What's a 2-word casual phrase that you can use to tell someone to calm down or to take it easy? I think this is the first phrase that we've talked earlier. That is chill out. This is a great informal way to tell someone to calm down or to simply relax in a particular situation. So it's perfect for situations when someone might be getting stressed or overly excited about something, especially something that is not a big deal. Okay? You could say chill out. Next, that's crazy. Okay, that's crazy. What's a 2-word casual phrase that you can use to describe something that is shocking or unexpected? Okay, that's nuts. So this is a fun and very common phrase you can use when you find something to be completely and unbelievable or crazy in a good way. Okay, that's nuts. And lastly, we have here, I understand or I agree or I understand what you're saying. What's a casual phrase that you can use to express empathy and agreement with someone's point of view? The answer is what? The answer is I hear you. This is a really great and empathetic phrase to use in conversation as it shows you are not only listening but that you also understand and agree with the other person's point of view. Okay? So you will often hear I hear you in situations where someone is expressing frustration or similar negative emotion. Okay? All right. So let's have here as another practice drill for the same set of phrases. If you want something to calm down or to relax, you could say what? Chill out. If you are showing someone you understand or agree emotionally, empathy. Okay? I hear you. When you're asking what's happening or what's the situation is, what's going on? Okay, let me put it here. Okay. What's going on, or what's the other way to say it? What's the deal? Okay? When you react to something surprising, shocking, or unbelievable, you say that's nuts. Sorry. And if you want to say you understand in a fast, casual way, gotcha. And if you're not giving a clear yes into clear yes or no, it could change. Basically, non-committal answer, still one word, depends. Okay? Alright, so that's the first set of phrases. Of course, we shall move on to another set of phrases. I think there are 4 only here. And this will be the last set of phrases. Let's move on to this one. You're kidding. Again, you're kidding. Today, we continue with this phrase. This is a very familiar phrase. You're kidding. This is a great way to show surprise or disbelief. Okay, like when something sounds too crazy to be true, you say you're kidding. It's a casual way of saying, are you serious? Okay. Let's imagine this situation. A friend just told you some incredible news. They might say, I just met a celebrity at the grocery store. In this moment, a simple and energized response could be this one. You are kidding. Okay? Because you cannot believe about the possibility that your friend is in right now. The reality. Okay? Now, this phrase works so well here because it acknowledges their amazing story and it shows your genuine surprise and excitement. So it's a very common way to show someone that you are engaged in the conversation and that you find what they said to be truly unbelievable in a good way. It's a way of saying, wow, wow, that's amazing. I can hardly believe it. Okay, you're kidding. But of course, let's think about this phrase more deeply. You're kidding isn't just for celebrity encounters. You can use it in many different contexts. For example, imagine you have a friend who is usually very lazy about doing their homework and they tell you they finished an entire project in a single night. You could respond to them with a playful tone. Like, you finish it already? It all already? You're kidding. Okay? Or you could just say you're kidding. That's already a good, sufficient response. Okay? Here you are not just showing surprise, but a bit of playful disbelief because their story goes against what you know about them. So it's just basically a supportive phrase that can also be used to show friendly teasing. Okay? Another example for this one is when someone tells you some still shocking. I guess that's the clue. If it's shocking, you're kidding. Okay? So yes, let's say a friend tells you that their dream vacation was canceled at the last minute. You can respond with a concerned tone here. You could say, you're kidding. I'm so sorry to hear that. You were so excited about it. Okay? Alright. When it comes to pronunciation of this one, we're still here. You're kidding. When it comes to pronunciation, which is very important, as the slide says here, you emphasize on kidding with upward tone, meaning that the two words your and kidding, they blend together. The first word your, it is often said very quickly. The real emphasis is on the second word, kidding. Okay, the word your is a contraction of you are. The pronunciation is a bit different from how it looks. It's usually pronounced with a sound that is similar to the word your, represented by the IP symbol, this one, you see. Okay? The key here is that it's often said very quickly and softly. Now for the second word, kidding, this is where the emphasis goes. So let's just put it here like this because it's the emphasized word. The first syllable kid is the most important. The vowel sound is a short E sound like the E in sit or ship. So it's a quick and sharp vowel sound. The second syllable ding, it is where the rising upward tone happens. Okay? So when you say the entire phrase, you're kidding, the two words flow together smoothly, like there's a strong emphasis on the first syllable on the second word because it's kidding, and your voice rises at the end as if you're asking a question. Okay? It's not you're kidding, but you're kidding. So practicing this flow and tone is it is important in a way that it makes the phrase sound confident and natural. Okay? Not just any like a collection of separate words, something like that. It's not blended well together. So the rising tone here is what makes the phrase a question, and add you of course add an exclamation at the same time. So you're kidding. Okay? Let's say it together. First, let's just practice the word kidding with the rising tone. You're kidding. Again, you're kidding. Great job. Now, this is the seventh phrase for today. You're kidding. Next to that is fair enough. Again, fair enough. The phrase fair enough, it is a calm and polite way to say that's reasonable. Or if not that, okay, I get it. Okay, let me just put it here very quickly. What is it? Okay. Okay, I get it. Okay, all good, I think. Yeah. Okay, I get it. That's what you mean by fair enough. Aside from being reasonable, of course, okay, I get it. Or if not that, that makes sense. So it's a great way to show that you understand and accept someone's reason or decision. Let's look at the example provided. Imagine a friend here saying seeing or gives you a reason for not being able to do something. He would say, the other person would say, you would say, I can't come tonight. I've got a lot of homework. Not the other person would say to you, I can't. Let me just copy and paste for you. It's in my notes, so that it's much easier for you to really follow me. I can't come home. I can come tonight. I've got a lot of homework to do. So in this situation, a perfect and understanding response would be fair enough. Okay, this phrase works so well here because it shows that you are not going to argue with them. You're just accepting the reason is valid and reasonable. It's much more friendly and supportive than just saying okay, which can sometimes sound a little cold. So it shows that you are listening and that you respect their time and priorities. Okay? All right. Okay. That is on fair enough. Another situation, when a colleague tells you they can't help you with a task because they are swamped with their own work, you can respond with a calm and understanding tone. Fair enough. Okay? Fair enough. Or you could add more details on it. Fair enough. Just let me know if you have time later. Okay? All right. That is on fair enough. Again, fair enough. Next to that is hang on. Again, hang on. Is it hang on? For a moment. Yeah, it's hang on, I think. No, it's you nailed it first. Okay, let's move on to you nailed it. Now here, when we talk about you nailed it, you mean you did it perfectly. Okay, you did it perfectly. So you stress on that. This is just a great positive phrase to use when someone has done an excellent job on something. So the phrase itself, it's very enthusiastic and full of phrase. For example, if you have like, how do you call this? You can imagine your friend just gave a great presentation at school, or if not at school, or at work. A simple and energized response to their good presentation skills, good presentation overall, is you nailed it. Okay, it's a compliment basically. You did it perfectly, or you nailed it. So this phrase works so well here because it acknowledges your friends' hard work, and that it shows your genuine enthusiasm and appreciation for their performance. It's a much more celebratory and personal way of saying that that was a great presentation. Okay, let me put it here. That was a great presentation. Okay? For a moment, because my screen is stuck. All right, what is happening for a moment? Okay, I think everything's good. Let me check. Okay, I think everything's good. Let me continue. Okay, sorry for that. This is just another way to mean you nailed it. Especially, so you nailed it. It just, it depends on the context, because you could mean different things depending on the context that you are in, depending on the conversation, depending on the situation. And that the situation here is that your friend delivered a great presentation. That's why you said you nailed it as a compliment to them. Okay? So you can think about it more deeply. You nailed it is not just for presentations, of course. You can use it in many different contexts. For example, a friend just got a perfect score on a very difficult exam. You can respond to them with an excited tone, like, wow, 100%, you nailed it. Okay? Wow, 100%, you nailed it. Okay? Still a compliment. Here you're not just showing surprise, but also a sense of pride and admiration for their intelligence and hard work. It's a supportive phrase that can be used to show friendly praise. Okay? Another example, when a friend asks you for advice in a difficult situation and you give them some great advice that ends up working out perfectly for them, they could say to you, you nailed it. That was exactly what I needed to hear. Thank you so much. Okay? In this case, you nailed it is a way to give you credit for your excellent advice. It shows that they recognize that your advice was the perfect solution to their problem. It's also a great way to show that you're impressed by someone's skill. Okay? Now let's move on to the pronunciation, which is very important for this phrase. As the site says, you need to stress on nailed. So let me highlight that one, nailed. Okay? The three words you nailed it, you nailed and it, they flow together, but the main emphasis is on the word nailed. This is the part that gives the phrase its punch and conveys your enthusiasm. Now the first word you, it is often said very quickly and softly. The real emphasis is on the second word nailed. The vowel sound is a long ah sound, similar to the ah in fall, or not fall, but ah in not fall, ah in male. Sorry, male. Okay, so the word is pronounced with a single syllable. The final D sound can be a little tricky because it often blends with the I sound of the word it. So when you say the entire phrase, you nailed it, the words flow together smoothly. There's like a strong emphasis on nailed, and then the D at the end of nailed and the E at the beginning of it blended together. So it sound like a nailed it. Nailed it. It's not you nailed it, but you nailed it. Okay? Practicing this flow is very important, especially this tone also, because it makes the phrase sound confident and natural, not like a collection of separate words. So the emphasis is what makes the phrase a true celebration of success. Okay, now let's say it all together. First, let's just practice the word nailed with a strong, confident tone. Nailed. Again, nailed. Good. Now let's say the whole phrase, and remember to emphasize nailed. You nailed it. Okay, you nailed it. Great job. All right. Let's move on to the last phrase of today. Hang on. Again, hang on. Now here, what it means is to wait. Again, what it means is to wait. Hang on is here. This one. The one I am highlighting right now, it is what it means. Hang on. This phrase is a quick and casual way to ask someone to wait for a moment. You would use it in informal situations when you need a second to do something, like finishing a text or grabbing a pen. Okay? It's a much friendlier and a less demanding alternative to simply saying wait. And of course, hang on, it means wait a second or give me a moment. Let me put it here. Hang on, wait a second or give me a moment. Okay? It's a very common tool for managing a conversation, especially when you are busy or you need to collect your thoughts. For example, if you're on the phone and your friend asks you a question, you might reply, "Hang on, let me think about that for a second." Okay, it's also great for it's great for when someone is walking too long, not too long, too fast. I'm sorry. When you are walking too when someone is walking too fast and you need them to slow down, you could just say, "Hang on." Okay? Now, when it comes to pronunciation, the key to sounding natural is to blend the words together into one seamless sound, which is hang on. Okay, this is the tip here. Don't say it as two separate words like hang on. Instead, let the G sound from hang connect directly with the on sound. So the emphasis is on the first syllable, so it sounds like hang on. This one. Okay? This quick blended delivery makes the phrase feel relaxed and of course authentic in this particular situation. Okay? And that's the last phrase for today's session. And for casual phrases, let's have the practice time for this one. Okay? Let's have the first one. Okay. Here, are you serious? What is a casual phrase you can use that means the exact same thing, which is often when you are surprised or in disbelief? What do you think? I'm going to give you 10 seconds to answer that. Time starts now. Okay, time's up. The answer is, are you serious? Its casual equivalence is, you're kidding. This is just a fantastic and expressive way to show surprise or disbelief when something sounds too crazy to be true. So the key to this phrase is the tone. You should really emphasize the word kidding with a rising upward tone, almost like you're asking a question. Okay? You're kidding. Next, that's reasonable. Okay? What is a casual two-word phrase you can use to show that you understand and accept someone's reason? That's reasonable. That is fair enough. Sorry. That is fair enough. Okay? Fair enough. All right. This is a great polite way to say, "Okay, I get it," or "that makes sense." It's perfect for when someone gives you a reason for doing something and you want to show that you respect their decision without arguing. So the key is just to keep the stress balanced on both words so it sounds relaxed and even. Next, let's talk again. Let's talk again. What do you think is its casual equivalence? That is, let's catch up. This is a fantastic friendly way to end a conversation with someone you haven't seen in a while. It's an invitation to get together soon and share what's been happening in your lives. Okay? Let's catch up. And lastly, we have, you did it perfectly. What is the casual three-word phrase you can use to celebrate a success? I'm going to give you 10 seconds to answer that. Time starts now. All right, time's up. The answer for this, "you did it perfectly," is, you nailed it. This is a great positive phrase to use when someone has done an excellent job on something. So the phrase itself is very enthusiastic and full of praise. For example, if your friend gives a great presentation, which is our example earlier, you can say you nailed it. Okay? For pronunciation, remember to put all the stress on the word nailed, as that is the punch of the sentence. Okay? All right. And that ends our, not yet. Okay, it's not yet pala. So here, this is the last slide of our presentation for today's session. Here, if you want to show you are shocked or surprised, you say, "You're kidding." If you accept someone's reason or explanation, you say, "Fair enough." When you need a moment before you can hang on. Respond, I'm sorry. Hang on. So if you want to tell someone they did great, you want to compliment them, you nailed it. And that, again, everyone, is the last slide for today's session. Great job, everyone. These phrases are super common in everyday conversation. And now you've got the meaning, you've got the sound, and of course the vibe also. Remember, casual phrases aren't just about what you say, they're about how you say it. Use the right tone, blend words smoothly, and don't be afraid to sound relaxed, okay? Next time you want to say wait, just say hang on, or if someone aces a task, don't forget to compliment them. You say you nailed it. Keep practicing, keep listening, and most importantly, have fun with it. That's how your speech starts to sound more natural. All right, let's catch up next time, everyone. Thank you again, everyone, and I hope to see you again soon. Have a great weekend ahead. Goodbye, and have a great rest of the night.